beautiful, quixotic adventure. I think you're tilting at windmills. It's good.
LAFCO, the Los Angeles Filmmakers Cooperative, was started in 2000 when a group of underground filmmakers bought a 1985 Chevy school bus on eBay and converted it into a fully self-sufficient digital studio on wheels. Emblazoned on one side of the graffiti-painted school bus were the words of Jean Cocteau: "Film will only become art when its materials are as inexpensive as pencil and paper."
Like a stealth vehicle, you know, it's like a stealth life.
You'll never believe what's going on in there from the outside. But as soon as you step aboard, oh man, it's like the Starship Enterprise.
In 2001, 3 LAFCO filmmakers set out to cross the country and make films with artists, poets, and musicians across America. 7 months and several films later, they had only made it as far as Northern California and had to return home. During the next 5 years, the LAFCO bus regularly attended the Burning Man Festival in Nevada, traveled to Mexico, started a commune in an old powerhouse in Venice, California, made dozens of short films, documentaries, and music videos, and produced Camjackers, LAFCO's first feature film. Finally, it was time to fulfill LAFCO's dream of crossing the United States. 9 people embarked on what was supposed to be a 30-day journey. Native American filmmaker Cody Lusich, filmmaker and musician James Wade, artist and activist Felicia aka 5150, lyricists KP and Vince Carnage, photographers Kaz B and Steve Newman, bus driver Catherine Rossum, and founder Tal Ruspoli boarded the bus looking for the intersection of art and politics in America. This is their story.
Yadzi, can you just explain for a second what it is that you've been working on so hard and beautifully on?
Let's see. Well, basically, what we've been working on is putting this platform up on here. It's customized platform application on top of the mobile production vehicle.
Are you happy with your work?
That's a trick question. I probably would like to have like a little bit more time to fine-tune it. But, you know, it's just like when the children of Israel had to leave Egypt. You have to go ahead and leave with the unleavened bread because you have to leave and make haste.
You guys with all these cameras. I'd say we rebuilt everything except for the inside of the engine. We've redone the carburation, exhaust, ignition, all the hoses, belts, all the fluids.
What are the odds that the bus now makes it all the way to New York without a breakdown?
Oh, it's fine.
So we're here at the very beginning of our trip. Our first stop is just up the street at the parking lot of the Rose Cafe where the bus was parked for over a year. I lived where the LAFCO van is now parked, and we're meeting our first political artist.
One of the very few places you could get my posters and actually pay for them was at the Rose Cafe. Arnold would come over, you know, with his Cuban cigar and his boys. He started complaining to the Rose Cafe. Well, I'm telling everybody not to come in. He basically intimidated them into not carrying my posters. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to get even.
He does have 3 positive posters. One of Gandhi, one of Martin Luther King, and one of the Dalai Lama. And we've asked him, and he's volunteered, to put those 3 and express his art on the LAFCO van right before we take off.
It was after 9/11, and that was a terrible tragedy. And I'm from New York, so it's like my neighborhood. It was terrible. And our response to it was terrible. You know, our government kind of, I think, maybe overreacted just a little bit, like bomb the shit out of these people for the second time, go halfway across the world, spend billions and billions of dollars, rip people out of their homes, not to mention what they did to the Iraqis, and then declare a worldwide perpetual war on terror so that they can do whatever they want because it's wartime conditions and the executive branch gets more power, blah, blah, blah. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool, karmically speaking, if Gandhi, the Dalai Lama, Martin Luther King, kind of peaceful warriors, people who made social and political change by nonviolent methods, were looking at us on the streets going, what the hell are you doing? not just art about politics, it is politics. Doing it is a political act. It's a hostile act, usually, along with everything else. You know, a statement that I exist, and just because you are ignoring me or, you know, I'm invisible to you doesn't mean I can't, like, piss on your turf.
Have you ever gotten busted?
Yes.
Have you gone to jail?
Yes.
Here we are at my home in Venice Beach, California.
Home and studio, right?
Home and studio, yes. I make public art, murals. I'm a painter and a graphic designer. When I first began painting, the murals that we created were very much in reaction to what was going on in Chile, to restore democracy in Chile and speak about human rights issues. My father was close friends with Salvador Allende, a man who was elected president of Chile in 1970. My father was appointed as the ambassador from Chile to the United States on September 11th, or first September 11th, 1973. The military overthrew the Allende government. Many of the people that worked with Allende, including my father, were either killed or imprisoned. And my father was held in various concentration camps for a year, where he suffered enormous physical and emotional torture. Eventually, we returned to Washington, D.C., where my father was very effective in denouncing the Chilean military dictatorship led by Augusto Pinochet and denouncing mass disappearances, imprisonments, and other atrocities that were happening in Chile at that time. A hit squad was sent out to kill my father. They planted a C2 explosive bomb underneath my father's Malibu Classic. My father died almost immediately in the bomb blast. There were two other people in the car, Ronnie Carp and Moffett. Some people say to me, boy, it's a shame that you don't paint political murals anymore, because for them, a political mural always has somebody with a raised fist and somebody say, down with the man. Many people think of political art as being in reaction to some oppressive system upon people. And that may or may not be happening in the murals. But what's always happening in the murals is this secondary thing, which is really the root of community movement, people coming together and building community.
Thank you very much. Kazu!
Cards, man.
Huh? Cards? To play cards?
Yeah, I bring it. Yeah.
You bring?
I got it. Yep. My name is Kazbi, taking a photography.
We just pulled up to Oliver Stone's editing studio, and we're gonna ask him a few questions about art and politics. So we all know Oliver Stone for Platoon, Salvador, JFK. All his films are political. Gandhi's watching us. Dalai Lama's waiting for us to get hip, and he's still dreaming.
It takes eccentricity and strength. Psychology in life, politics. Politics to me is not a different subject. It's not a dry, separate. Politics is part of what you and I are doing now.
Yeah.
It is a political discussion in a way.
Right.
Politics is part of life.
Do you think there's value in doing art that few people are gonna see, but is strong in its message? Or do you think it's better to aim for just the largest possible audience?
When I went to film school in 1969 and 70, you know, when I was at the time, at the beginning, when they were making, when I saw a film like Z by Costa Gavras or Battle of Algiers by de Corvo, those films were energized me to believe that, wow, we can make political movies in an entertaining and exciting that would fit inside the conventional movie narrative tradition, and that is what excited me.
Any words of wisdom for us as we go out, what we should look for, or what we should be asking people, or?
Use skillful means to get your message across, and avoid some of the cities. Remember, Easy Rider, when that came out, was a very political movie in 1969, and in the South, they loved the ending, because the two hippies got shot. So there was a happy ending for them. Remember that. So don't be stupid. You know, don't provoke people unnecessarily. You're driving into their town. You're going to change their customs. They're not going to relate to a lot. A lot of people aren't going to understand what that means, you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
All right, baby.
Great.
Have a good trip.
So we're actually just leaving LA. We got downtown LA behind us. Great adventures ahead of us. Hello? Buzz, you gotta come help us fix the bus. It broke down. Okay, well, we made it for 6 miles, almost to New York. 6 miles closer. And now the bus broke down already. It didn't feel good. It smelled like burning rubber, and then it just went and died.
When an artist evolves,
he invented is an Uber dude.
Good morning.
This is Billy.
Hey. Art feeds us and heals us. It's like self-inquiry, you know, examining oneself. And in the state of times today, we need it more than ever. Yes, Big Brother's here. Yes, the White House is abusing its power. There's cameras on all the street corners. We got to take that same technology and flip it back on them. As crazy as it's going, people are waking up just as fast.
California.
Still keep turning away when you say Wyatt Earp, though.
Okay, let's try it again. Okay, we're in Wyatt Earp, California, heading into Arizona. We're on the California-Arizona border, about to cross the Colorado River. We just went up 95, then we're gonna go on Route 66.
But this is just as bad.
What's up?
They call it stomach money, baby. But this is just as bad.
Are you guys the only guys who do hip-hop around here?
Yeah, me and my 3 cousins, or my 2 cousins, yeah. There's a lot of other ones too, but shit, they ain't that good as us. But no one other native who could spit quicker than this native, yo. It's me, Joe with the flow, let them know. Yeah, this is the houses they built for us, though. We never had grass when we were here, but these fuckers got grass. Yeah, and they got grass here, so they lucked out. My old house where I used to live at, like 3 of us, 4 or 5 of us living in the house. No bathroom. To my grandma's house. We used to walk right here and use the bathroom. Just to use the bathroom and shower. The church, we got our church right here, but I don't go there. What's that called? High Rock. A lot of spirits and shit up there, though. Got the skulls called the Guachiri, you know, they'll really fuck with you if you go up there. I'm just that native, just chillin', yo. I come through like a villain while you're looking through your window. I'm on the low to my homies, slanging a little bit of endo. I'm so high, my eyes is low. It look like it came from a donut shop and glazed. But you know, I'm just haze. All these natives just amazed. Family right here, this is my family.
It's my cousin's house right here. Yeah, one of my cousins got ran over by a drunk driver. Damn. He was standing outside the road waiting for his mom, and the drunk driver came out of nowhere and ran him over.
This dude right here got an accident a long time ago. It just messed him up. Dang. Like sometimes when he talked to you, you couldn't understand him, but after you had the accident, he kind of talked clear and shit.
Mm-hmm,
no shit. You can hear that fool, you know? There's some local drunks. Yeah. Right there in this spot right there where a cop killed a little boy. Said he was coming at him with the hatchet, but he didn't have shit on him. Shot him point blank right in the chest. That's where he died, right there in this spot. God damn. Blood was all over. Every hood has a Chinatown. This is our Chinatown right here. This is called Chinatown.
No shit?
Yeah.
Is it all Chinese people?
No, this is called Chinatown.
is an independent record label and recording studio. It's a refuge for musicians and artists of all kinds that are coming through the desert Southwest and need an oasis to hang out. A lot of our political songs and our messages are oftentimes kind of geared towards people who wouldn't necessarily be into protest songs otherwise. It's kind of sad in a way that it took so long for like mainstream rock and roll to really stand up against the establishment in this last round of shenanigans that we're living through. I love my country. I love this land. I'm gonna do all that I can to help my children to understand that we the people don't serve a man. The president is just a whore, and I ain't gonna fight in a rich man's war.
Where are we? Yo, we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mean, Seattle. We're out here in beautiful New Mexico, Santa Fe, you know what I mean? The most gorgeous sight you could ever see. I'm over here playing with this praying mantis. It's kind of intruding the bush. I don't want nobody to get scared.
What's going on?
I think I got sick again.
Sleeping on the roof?
Sleeping on the roof and I got cold. Ooh, not good. Kendo. I started like maybe 10 years old. Exercise, protection too.
How did you get into photography?
I started taking pictures like 11 or 12 something. Yeah, with that, you know, the little disposable camera. When you shoot one pictures, it's like one moment. Stay there forever. So that's like, how do you say? For me, it's God gave me a moment.
How did you end up on this trip?
I never crossed the United States. In my life, most important, I mean, like experience, opportunity, I don't want to miss it. I'm Japanese.
I'm pink, dog.
We from like totally different cultures, but still we can hang out, kick it, like, you know, cool. So I love it.
What's up, Cody?
Hey, dog, how you doing, man?
What's going on?
Just got some kind of allergies in my eyes or something. Just really nice people here in the desert, man. They got a little commune going on, you know what I mean? And this artists doing their thing. They don't play that fake-ass CMT bullshit. No. This is real folk music, you know what I mean? Go to the source. We found the source. What's your name?
My name's Grant Hyunga.
How long you been playing for?
All my life.
I was listening to some of your lyrics, man. You're not singing about things that most country singers be singing about. Why is that?
Because of the state of the world.
Surrounded by more or less military and fundamentalists, living with every god on their side, and still afraid of you. With every abuse of the leadership, the good people say, stop us now, we will have everything to lose.
See a change in the world, but I feel like I have to do it here, right now, in front of me to make it happen, in my community especially. And Santa Fe is a great place for that because it's small enough that I feel like when you do something, you can actually see the difference. I use film still. I find that with digital, you just kind of click. And with the film, it's kind of a little more of a meditation. You have to sit, you have to think about it. Going up to Stone Fridge, which is like, they made Stonehenge out of a bunch of refrigerators.
The official title is Stone Fridge, a Fridgehenge. It's kind of a megalithic, post-apocalyptic monument to consumerism and waste. It's kind of a black humor approach to what I think may be the downfall of civilization. I went to the city government of Santa Fe, and it became an absurd journey of bureaucracy. I had to go to the city manager, the Public Utilities Committee, the Art and Public Places Committee, the Public Works Department, the full city council, and eventually through the mayor. It took over a year and a half to get through all of this bureaucracy, a year and a half of dog and pony shows for every bureaucrat in the Santa Fe city government. The most vocal, active opponent was one of the engineers. He told me, "You may build this thing, but it'll just be bulldozed." And sure enough, a week after I got permission, workers in the city solid waste department destroyed my entire collection and claimed that it was an accident. The other thing he told me was, "I think art is a painting you put on the wall, and garbage is garbage, and what you are doing is garbage." My original proposal was to put it up for 2 weeks. Because of the censorship and the opposition and the wanton destruction, the project ended up going on for over 10 years. The more the government opposed it, and the more they destroyed it, the more power they gave it. People started rooting for it just to defeat this bureaucratic idiocy. And the next thing I knew, there were 3 reporters calling around the city of Santa Fe asking them, "Well, what do you mean you destroyed the project?" Nothing succeeds like censorship. If something is important to you as an artist, you are going to need to persevere, and you may need to fight for it beyond your wildest dreams.
When I got to Santa Fe, at first I didn't feel comfortable because you said it was going to a country music house. I'm thinking a whole bunch of hunks and, I was going to say hunkies, but a whole bunch of hillbillies. Because I always said I was racist, but it helped me get over my racism. Because it showed me that white people and people in general, they have love. The love from Santa Fe was so genuine that I was just like, you know what? People is just people, and let people's actions dictate who they are.
Do you still find a similar experience, maybe?
After Santa Fe, I built such a high tolerance for not just country music, but just the country in general, you know? The people exhibited so much love, it was ridiculous. They didn't even hear our music before they started showing us love. They showed us love strictly from the people that we were and the energy that we showed them.
This is a little something from your boy KP. My flow's like a snake bite. Without anti-venom, they lethal. Distinguished, I'ma represent all of my people.
When they finally heard our music, it was ridiculous. They was like, oh man, we definitely have to work with you guys, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't get that everywhere, you know what I mean? You seriously wouldn't get that everywhere.
Yo, this is how we do. We rock all night. From country to bluegrass, hip-hop, it's all right. Yeah!
It's very rock and roll to be anti-establishment.
You never heard it like this.
When we play like some of these redneck places down in Texas, we always get big cheers when we sing. I think anyone, whether or not you were for Bush or anything, can relate to the fact that your money's worth less now, and that gas is over $3 a gallon, and that you're not making anymore, and that the oil companies are making so much, and that this whole war, you know, is just so much of what's going on is based around the war in the Middle East.
Woo! Rainstorm in Texas, baby.
There's the map. I've been looking for that thing everywhere.
And we hit it just inside the state line, right there.
I've gone back to Magna Carta because, man, they've forgotten it in the United States. I was taught that it was like a bourgeois document, but it had habeas corpus, prohibition of torture, due process of law, trial by jury. Bush must have had very bad English teachers in his English history teachers, if he did any of it, because these have been violated lock, stock, and barrel, you know, by this emergency that the Bush regime has created.
But do the just bad.
some ways, it's good that Bush is a miserable failure and a disgusting human being and an appalling president. Do we want someone to do it slightly better, who's pursuing the same policies but looks a little more civilized when he goes in front of the UN? If we were pagans, barbarians, on the frontiers of the Roman Empire in the 3rd century, you know, waiting to invade, we wouldn't have said, oh, they've picked Theodosius. He's an appalling, he'll be a very bad Roman emperor. That's terrible. No, you'd say they've picked another idiot. That's wonderful. We can invade even faster. In other words, if the prime force for evil in the world is the American empire, which it is right now, you don't wish, you know, to have a slightly better guy at the tiller saying, you know, I'll steer the American empire to, you know, greater success. You want a pilot who's half drunk, who's steering the thing onto the rocks all the time.
So that's what the best thing that could happen is for the American empire to start to crumble.
Of course, because then you would even up the balance in the world. I mean, at the moment,
what about the American people? Would they benefit from that as well?
Well, they're not doing too well right now, are they? Now, I don't think when you go across America, ordinary people are telling you that life's looking like it did in the 1950s. One medical disaster, and you're wiped out. You're gone. You're history. You've lost your house. You've lost your car. You're gone. I mean, it's terrible. So is the American empire really delivering? You know, the Roman Empire finally fell because people in it, what's called the marginal rate of return, they said there's nothing much in this for us.
So what's the alternative? It sounds like there is none.
What are you doing? You're going across the country, you're filming people, you know, we're actively involved in trying to bring art and politics together. What do I do? You know, we do our website, we do our newsletter. You do what you can. What's the tooth in big improvements since I've been here? You know, every day we have better coffee and better bread. No politician gave them good coffee. Politicians have fought valiantly on behalf of the food industry, saying Folgers is the outer limit of the American experience. Bread. When I first came to America, bread was something you'd use for insulation. In the windows, it was so disgusting. It's in the hands of the people. And if the government said we ban good coffee, the people would find a way of having good coffee.
There's no highways of gold. There's no rivers of brilliant diamonds. There's only hearts made of stone.
When I was 15 and 16, I lived here. It was a very tough time for me as a youth. Very depressed. I was going through it with my family. I had a lot of issues. This town, the town we're in, Dill City, has about 600 people. Everybody knows everybody.
What do you guys think of Dill City?
I like it.
And when I came out here, I hated it. I hated it. I hated Oklahoma. I didn't want to come here. I came out here from Southern California, came out here, but then when I got here, and once I got acclimated like a few months to the small town life, I realized that there were some genuine people here. Me and my brother go back years.
Josh Myers, what's up?
Where we at?
Oklahoma, land of red dirt, baby. In the trailer, right?
When you come from a different place and you're raised different from that, and you just labeled an outcast, you know?
People are watching us all the time because we're not very inconspicuous, you know what I'm saying, with our bus and van, but while we're being watched here in Oklahoma is specifically the H word, haterism, you know what I'm saying? Haters, the ones, they already told the cops we're here. Every
cop told me that I already had 6 people talk to them to say that we're here.
There's a way of life out here that's different than what we're used to. You know, in LA, we could just walk down the street. We could be walking and talking, walking and arguing. Down here, you walking down the street, you are suspect. Why aren't you in your home? What are you doing? Why you got baggy clothes on? Who you affiliated with? Who you know? Who's your family? Even if we started yelling, the cops would be here and we would be arrested. You'd be here days, at least. Easy. They want you to go to jail if you ain't working on the oil rig, working 9 to 5, going to church. It hurts to know that, it hurts to realize that, it hurts to see that, but it takes the strength to be able to do what we're doing to change that little by little. My man's never recorded, so it's a beautiful thing to see him, you know what I'm saying, in action, finally being able to do what he loves to do.
When you hear something that you can relate to and you can feel, you just become a part of that. I don't listen to music, I live music every day.
Oh man, I feel locked up. Oh, that's tight.
You know, we was going through so much in our lives, and just to see each other and come together for however long it was, and we could just flow and let it out.
Just to find another motherfucker you can relate to.
Man.
Another motherfucker that you just click with, you know?
Hip-hop for me is my counselor. You know, hip-hop is my social worker.
What I breathe.
Yeah, hip-hop is my psychologist. One of the realest cats in the motherfucking planet. One of the realest cats I ever met in my life.
For real, because if I wasn't me, I'd want to know a motherfucker just like me. And that's real.
game of strategy.
Kamikaze style.
He has that, and I have this. But last time we played, I beat him in 4 moves.
No, that wasn't me.
What was you?
Tired of losing at chess and sleeping on the roof of a bus, Cos B got on a plane and headed home.
Where are we? We're in Burnslide, America. When I first saw you guys, I thought, oh my God, we got us a porn site book coming into town.
Then what made you think that?
Are you kidding? Have y'all looked in the mirror lately? Especially you, man.
What do you think of Oklahoma City?
Fucking hate America, man.
Why?
It's so fucking hot here, man.
What do you think? Shit, I feel like my boy, man. It's hot as hell, yo. It's hot enough if you stand in one place too long, the shoes, the fucking rubber on your shoes is gonna melt. Damn it, it's hot.
My name is Ricky. My name's Tyler. And we're the pimps. Yeah, we the pimps call.
Can you rap for me real quick? Bust me a verse. What town are we in right now?
Conway.
What's good about Conway?
It's good that you get to go places, hang around, and then sometimes fight.
It's 6 o'clock, and I'm just waking up to another lonely morning without you. And I think to myself, now what am I gonna do?
It was nice growing up in the country, as they call it. Not a lot of gangs, but they are now. And the drugs is here. Kids coming up smoking crack, and all my classmates, half of them are folk kids. They just shot, you know, crack, heroin. Shit, it's tough.
What's going on? Where we at?
This lady has some of the most amazing words of wisdom that anyone could ever give to anyone.
She took all of the negative energy that was within the group and turned it into positivity. What do you think of this crazy group of people traveling on the bus?
Love. Y'all gonna be good. But remember, they're a unit, not a part.
You sure the bus?
Yeah, let's see the bus.
Don't let me fall down. Oh, wow, that's y'all bus. Y'all ain't playing, are you? No. Hey, guys. Oh, filmmakers. LA. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun.
Go in, go in.
Y'all generation have to stand up for the next generation. Like my grandson. You can either show him the positive things in life, or y'all can show him the negative. We need no more negativity. We got enough of that already. We need to get rid of this color barrier thing. That's killing us. I'm in the South. They don't tell you this, because everybody wants to believe it's not so. That's a lie. We have a bad color barrier here, too. Use it on there.
Let me ask you one thing before we go.
baby.
What's the best way for us to make a difference with our artwork, like with our filmmaking, our music, our photography? Do you think that we have the opportunity to change the world?
Yeah, if you be you. All of y'all has went through so many hard things in y'all life that other people went through, but they keep it covered up and they keep it in the shadow. And it eats them away for years. And they say to themselves, I didn't think anybody else could go through that. But once y'all bring it out in y'all words and in y'all art, they will also know you made it over. I can too. Be you. Be yourself. Tell the truth according to you. And I love you.
Thank you.
Last but not least.
Oh.
You're starting probably the poverty part of the United States, I'd say, here in Louisiana and Mississippi. It's called the Delta. Used to be cotton growing country. Farmers, the big farmers or little farmers went broke. Then they got off into catfish farming. Flooded the market, went broke doing that. Now you see nothing. There's no industry.
What's going on? What do you see here? I'm just looking at fields of cotton. First time seeing cotton fields?
Yup. This is my first time actually seeing this type shit up close.
Do you have any family in the South?
My grandmother's mother, she picked cotton. Her mother before her picked cotton.
Were they slaves?
Yeah, like every one of them.
My mom picked cotton.
What about their
Of
grandparents
course.
or great-grandparents?
My people are from the South. I'm sure they were slaves. And they made babies in the cotton fields. And that's how I came about.
Were you conceived in the cotton fields?
I was conceived on a cotton couch.
So is this your first time in the South, KP?
Yeah, man, this is my first experience with like just real straight out country folk. The thing that really makes me uncomfortable is the fact that people joke about racism out here like so much like it's nothing, like it's the regular talk of the fucking day.
This is not my first time down here. My family was born in the South. Every time we go down and visit, my mom, especially my brother, this guy called him a boy, and my brother was about to snap. She said, I love you so much. Don't let one word be a boy be the end of your life down here. You just gotta cool your temper, because that's just how these people are.
Man, that shit means a lot, for real. It means a whole lot. Call me a boy. I'm not no boy. I'm a grown-ass man, you know what I'm saying? And when I punch you, it ain't gonna feel like no boy, for real. It's gonna feel like a man.
That's why I said, hey, man, what's up? What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Black Forum exclusive.
Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands. Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands.
So let's just be real, all right? Steve is basically the most normal person in society. But on this trip, he's like an outcast. We can't figure him out, man. He over there drinking coffee every morning and shit.
My soul, you're the devil in nylon horse.
He was trying like real hard to fit in at first, and he's actually climbing with us now.
Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Oh, you don't do right, child. Save your doggone soul.
Okay, let's start talking about police. Because we've had nothing but problems with the police.
Well, what do you think? You're driving a hippie bus with long hair?
So what do you think we should do when we're pulled over by the police? Should we just comply?
I would comply. They are better armed than you are.
What just happened?
We just got pulled over by some cops down on 61 coming into Baton Rouge.
I've never been handcuffed twice in one day, and I've never had a gun pulled on me, ever, until last night.
And so when they pulled us over, they like wanted to search the vehicle, check everybody's rap sheet.
They really scared us, man.
He refused them to search the vehicle, but they could have brought the dogs out instead.
All the bad things that other countries think about America, this is one of those bad things is.
Everybody know what that is, right? Passport, global ID, right? Why hand a Louisiana cop this motherfucking passport? He looked at it and said, you have ID?
What were you telling us about New Orleans? What do we have to be careful of?
Racism, violence. Be careful walking around in them neighborhoods, because it still hadn't been cleaned up yet. Every now and then, they're still finding bodies down there. Watch out for diseases. When it floods down there, they have snake alerts and fire ant alerts because they go swimming down the streets.
Whew. Landed, man. Here we are in New Orleans.
75% of the tragedy was man-made. There's a rule, I believe, that for every foot of levee height, you need 4 feet of width. If you go to 17th Street and London Avenue and all the places where the breaks occurred, you'll see that the levees are far too narrow. The Corps of Engineers built models, they tested them, and they collapsed just like it did when this storm hit. So that time bomb was sitting out there. I mean, I'm a white person from New Orleans, and I know what people were saying all over the country, but the point is that there was no political will, and for 6 days they did absolutely nothing. Nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Of course it was politically motivated by an administration who'd rather blow up innocent people in Iraq than take care of our own American citizens here.
Post-Katrina Portraits are an art and story documentary project of the Common Ground Collective. The very first ones are those that evacuated just before the hurricane. Following that, we have survival stories of those that stayed during the hurricane, those that evacuated in the chaos afterwards, and those that stayed the whole time. They're all written on by those that were drawn. When the person writes on it themselves, it's unique to their voice. We tried to get them to focus on what was anecdotal, what was narrative, what was their own personal experience. And so it's a vast, decentralized base of information that tries to be very inclusive. People from different neighborhoods, different class and education backgrounds, both hurricane survivors, those that chose to stay, those that evacuated and came back and made it their struggle to return, rebuild, renew, and reclaim the Gulf region, their heritage there, those that came in solidarity to engage in explicit political struggle to do that, and those that came with a mentality of charity as well.
USA is not supposed to be a third world country. I just rode through these blocks, and I'm telling you, my heart is going out. The story is not the hurricane. The story is that a year later, it still looks the same.
Government? Man, I don't know. They won't take their time. They have people doing their own work up on their houses and homes and stuff, you know, man. They just taking their little money what they have, man, and just putting the work into their homes themselves, you know?
Right.
Cause waiting on the government, man, you don't know when that'll be, man, you know? You just have to do what you have to do to survive out here. But I thank God one thing, I ain't lose my life.
Which has been devastated, but they tell us we can't drive up our street because the vice president is doing an interview on the street. So they park their Explorer, they walk up with their cameras, and they walk right up to the interview. They're interviewing Dick Cheney.
Look, it says Baghdad right there. Oh my God.
Kid says to President Cheney, he says, "Fuck you, Mr. Vice President." Well, look at the way they cone the street off, like they freaking own it. They set up their freaking cameras. They don't own this street. People live here. You know, it's just ridiculous. We should be able to drive through here.
Yeah, that's CBS News.
And, yeah, oh, it's CBS? Okay.
You from here?
Yeah.
How old are you?
16.
Fucking power, man. Keep shutting down the city of New Orleans. I didn't save for like 4.5 hours, man, and I had a whole fucking music video just about done.
Where we going from here? Let's get our souls back. I can't hold back my pain and fears. Where we going from here? My initials should be A&R. Go and ask Kane. I love developing stars, man. Kodak should have to pay. Been influenced by Ray Charles and them cats back in the day. Word is born, hip-hop gave birth to Jam Master Jay.
13 of the younger children in the family had to all be placed on a floating mattress, and they had to float from the 7th ward all the way to like the Superdome, which is a good distance, and they had to make multiple trips in order to just, you know, to make it out of the storm and survive. And I think people, they don't really understand the significance and magnitude unless you actually go through a hurricane and experienced it firsthand. This was devastating to, you know, to the community and family members. So we just trying to, you know, stay positive and just keep our spirits up and just, you know, move on, just carry on, start over. I think one of the many positive things that I can see firsthand is, you know, after all of this has taken place, it's allowing families to strengthen. When anything happens like that on a magnitude, you know, there's always positive stuff that's gonna come out.
I'm originally from the 9th Ward.
And what are you doing now?
Well, for the last year, I've been doing this, just trying to save people's houses.
The reason I'm here is just because
look around, I'm sure you're getting footage of it, but it's a year later, and you know, we're living with rats and cockroaches, and I gutted a house the other day that still has standing floodwater in it from 1 year ago.
This organization that we're working with helps musicians. And so these are all musicians and musicians' families' houses.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
Volunteer, 100%.
And what are we doing today?
Muck and gut, baby, muck and gut. I'm taking out all the carpet, all the nastiness, all the sludge that's been crusted in there. So just the 2x4s, and that's the framing of the house, and that's it.
My glove, I need my glove.
Leave it all, man. Came on down, had a 30+ hour on the Greyhound. But I've been down here, and it's a whole flip to my world, and I'm loving it, man. It's amazing. The people you meet down here, and the riches you have now. As I was saying, I was getting paid every week, but I haven't gotten a paycheck in almost 9 months now, dude. A big fat zero every week. And I'm richer now than I ever have been, man.
Do you find that you're making a difference?
Well, yes and no. We've done 80-something houses. There were 178,000 that flooded. So I don't even know what minuscule part of a percentage that is. But we have changed a few lives.
I think of my mom when she has an expression. She says, "You can't take it with you." She's not a very material person.
While he appreciated the work they were doing, Steve could no longer handle the crazy bus lifestyle. And while the team was in New Orleans, he went home.
Vince, how's it been here in New Orleans?
It's been beautiful, man. I've seen a lot of cultures, you know, seen a lot of different things you wouldn't see in LA.
How's your experience been on the trip so far?
Powerful. Life-changing. I think everybody here had their own personal gain from the city, you know, just from touching their heart.
For the first time ever, I've actually, like, been moved to help something. Like, I've never seen or smelt or touched the things that I saw and smelt and touched.
This is Melanie, the most gracious host ever known in the history of planet Earth. Today I went in and found our host sleeping with 3 LAFCO members, like sprawled out on her bed. She took in 8 strangers.
What did you expect when he said there's a busload of people coming?
You never know what to expect when there's a busload of people headed towards your house. I was pleasantly surprised, delightfully awakened.
I know the Bible is right.
Somebody's wrong.
I know the Bible is right.
Oh, this is where it all originated. It's Southern Baptist churches everywhere, but this is the South, so this is the origins of the Southern Baptist Church.
I know
This is where the law is.
Oh, somebody's wrong.
Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church with my uncle and my Aunt Jess.
Whatever you sing should be a part of you. And whenever I sing, the song that I sing have to be a part of me, because if it's not, I can't sing it.
What's going on here?
There are gigantic spiders all over this campground.
Cody and James Wayne are scared as hell.
And Vince.
And Vince! Oh my God!
So he went. Oh, tough.
Oh my God! Ow! This is a spider!
As soon as James came up with the bag,
That's the face. That's the face right there.
Watch out for your legs, smarty pants!
Behold the new
campsite where there is no nature to threaten us. And we feel really secure, and I never thought I would love a Walmart, but I do.
What's going on?
Man, we up here at Walmart just chilling, man, camped out. You know, we was at the state park last night. There was too many spiders, man. So, you know, I went into the bathroom today, taking like a little, you know, relief. And I see some, like, you know, some messages that was that was blatantly aimed towards me.
What did it say?
It says, love God, love people. I hate niggers. KKK. I mean, we ain't a founding home. We ain't a founding state of KKKs, but, I mean, that shit don't bother me, though. Shit.
What were you thinking about it, KP?
Well, if I would have seen it, I would have had one hell of a reaction, but I don't know. I didn't see it, you know what I mean? It's the first time I'm hearing about it. You know, it's pretty unfortunate the way the world is going, you know. People still think and feel like that, but it's all good, though. That's what we here for.
When you live by your wits to survive harsh life in the streets, just to keep your head above water in this ocean so deep, you must keep you cool when things turn bad. Be productive when you can. Be kind and polite, show you're trying to do right. Your body has needs you have to eat, so you learn how to hustle to fulfill these needs. Don't get me wrong, never lie, steal, or cheat. More problems be stupid, that's the last thing you need. Offer a helping hand. Be an asset if tire engine has gone bad. Try your best to find a solution for one in need. All you can do is try. I'm homeless. I got hit by a work van 5 years ago. It shattered my face, shattered my leg. This is titanium. I've had my head worked on 3 times. But when everything fell apart, I started writing my thoughts down. Don't know nothing about writing. Hadn't read a poem since I was in the 6th grade. My writings turned into poetry. I have a manuscript now, and I'm trying to get myself published.
All right, I got you. I'm heading over there. Okay, bye.
As money ran out and food became scarce, tension within the group ran high. And on day 34, Felicia went home.
ATLA. Welcome to ATLA. Southeast, Southwest, you know what it is. We're so thankful. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Got music for our people. Got homies who couldn't be here. In the ATL, baby. On the south side.
We fell for their reality, you know what I'm saying? And that's not the majority's reality, you know, that was our fantasy. So now that we done been fantasizing, we already saw all the biggest houses you could see. We done seen all the diamonds you could possibly put in your mouth. We done seen the biggest rims you could put on a car. We done seen everything you could think of. What? It can only get soulful now. Period. It can only go back to the original essence, and which is pure art. The game got a lot of hustlers in the game right now. And so a lot of hustlers are blocking the real artists because they got hard work ethic and you seeing their product. It may not be the best product in the world, but they selling their product. And me personally, you know, I admire that. So it's what we need now is we need the artists to learn from the hustlers and the hustlers to learn from the artists. You put those two worlds together, you can't help but be successful, you know what I mean?
Society and the media conglomerates that you don't have to buy billboards and have to spend millions of dollars brainwashing people to get your message across.
Name's Josh, AKA B-Boy Gizmo, you know, Gizmo the infamous. Homeboys only. B-Boying just keeps me positive, keeps all my stress, everything, get it out on the dance floor.
I'm a B-Boy for fun.
How long have you been doing this?
23 years, since '83, February of '83.
What effect has it had on your life?
A lot of positive things and a lot of negative things. It's tough on my wife. The positive things are my homeboys, my family, you know. Me and my kids get to hang out together all the time. I love it. It's what I do.
Beat rocker.
What's it done for you in your life?
My friends, family, you know. Good times, good times.
My name's Krim. I'm a B-boy. B-boy for life.
What's it done for you in your life?
It's changed traveling to the hanging out with the crew, road trips. It's just all great, all great.
I'm just putting it out there. Whoever wants to see it can see it, whoever don't. But regardless, it's there. And guess what? I didn't have to pay.
Your time is up.
We turn to wine. We turn to whiskey, heroin, morphine, cocaine, opium, poison. Nothing but poison.
I know I can, I'm sure I can. Get this dope out my veins, I believe I can. I know I can, I'm sure I can. Break free from the chains, I can heal, I can change. A fighter never give up.
If you really study our traditions, you will study the concept of taking care of your body.
What I need to help myself, I understand that it's up to me to take care of my health.
Health is essential to life, you know what I mean?
On my feet, and I'ma do.
People don't realize the reason we even had a diet in America and in countries that we have is because of politics. It's because of the beef industry. It's because of the people who, you know, got stakes and interests in keeping us unhealthy, keeping us at the doctor. It's the people who develop new medicines or companies, you know, with profit interests invested in you taking a medicine, a purple pill, a blue pill, instead of you going to get some fresh fruits, veggies, and herbs and healing yourself.
I did this because I'm a child of the 60s. We were talking about black power and nation building. And you got to feed, clothe, and shelter your people if you're going to build a nation. So that's why I decided to learn about food, how to grow food so we could feed folks. We grow food organically, no chemicals, no pesticides. You can't grow that baby. What you can do is make sure the sister is healthy, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and then the baby will grow itself. And it's the same way with Mother Earth. It's a natural cycle that takes place.
How do you hope to influence the world with this little bit of like...
When I was your age, I wanted to save the world. Okay? But I long since disabused myself of that notion. All I want to do is just feed people. And if I can feed you, feed him, feed her and this baby, I've done my job. And at the end of the day, that is revolutionary because too many people are just trying to make money and not trying to take care of their health.
Stick Man, Young Noble, you know what I mean, the whole crew, Laugh Coat, we all here to do the video. And we out here at the Truly Living Well Organic Black-owned operated farm, and we doing Runaway Slave video.
Y'all looking around like this fear but determination.
I'm a runaway slave. Energy. I'm a runaway slave.
I'm the one that got free. I escaped from the cage, coming back when you sleep at your throat with the blade. I'm like Harriet with the 38 and a vertebrae. Ghetto gospel, apostle, nat, turn of fate. RBG to the grave. I'm that spook by the door with the map to the maze. I'm Auntie Asada's getaway driver on a prison break. Spirit of the BLA.
How old were you when you started rapping?
12, 11.
Were you already conscious of the power of hip-hop to, you know, to...
Nah, not at all.
Speak real ideas?
What really made me hip to the political aspect of hip-hop was one of my teachers in like 9th grade asked me to write a rap. She was like, if you could write something about your history, I'll let you perform it at the assembly. She gave me a couple of books. And she was like, soak that up and write something, and I'm gonna let you rock. Ended up writing this song called Black As I Could Get. And I performed it at the assembly, and while I was performing it, my principal to the school came on stage and turned the music off right while I'm performing my song. This white girl was like, well, if it's the truth, why he can't say it? When she asked that, it was like everybody was like, yeah, and then niggas just started jumping up and getting funky. All the students ended up rioting. Next thing I know, NAACP was at the school, you know what I mean? Do
you remember some of the lyrics?
I ain't no Uncle Tom, to hell with Uncle Sam. He acted like, you know, that was so profane. That was the experience, just back to the point, you know, that made me see when the NAACP and the churches and people, granddaddies and my moms and all this was all organized, you know what I mean, for this issue. That just made me get hip to the struggle. So I know it's contrary to popular belief in the history books. They said we just worked until somebody let us get free. But But it was a lot of rebels, and it was a lot of people who resisted that slavery. You know what I mean? And we paying homage to that spirit because we still need it today like never before. You know, I'm trying to create that kind of atmosphere to live in. You know, a revolutionary atmosphere, and not just in the sense of guns and politic revolution, but a revolutionary atmosphere of willing to grow, willing to change, you know what I mean? Being creative, being innovative in the face of nothing.
What's your name?
Shannon McCullum.
What do you do?
Photographer.
How long you been doing it?
15 years. My dad's a photographer, so it was in my blood. We're in like a Renaissance period right now. And just the way the cats was shooting jazz in the 60s, shooting Coltrane and Monk, Miles Davis, I'm doing it now with the hip-hop era. I'm trying to be the next Gordon Parks with it, but of hip-hop, of music, you know. More than anything is I'm trying to show people that there's another side of hip-hop. Music is powerful. If you rapping, you know, you got cats that are little seeds that want to emulate you. You're not realizing what you're saying is something they take in the heart, and they rewind and they rewind and they listen to those lyrics and they like, yo, I wanna learn how to smoke a blunt like you one day. And that shit ain't even cool. So that's why you should really be conscious of what you rapping about, what you singing about, what you talking about, because people are listening. People are really listening.
Do you think we're living in a time as powerful as the 60s as far as revolution, change?
No. I think we should be, but we're not quite there yet because of the fact that, you know, when we started wearing afros, you know, everybody wore an afro. And when you saw somebody with an afro, that meant that's some powerful shit. Now we're a little lost, you know what I'm saying? So we so scattered. We want to wear bling. We want to drive $50,000 cars and live in the hood, you know, and not have bank accounts, check accounts. They keep all your cash in your pocket, you know, don't know how to invest. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that we need to get to our people. We should always, you know, come together and spread ideas, you know what I'm saying? Teach me how to use some of that Photoshop. I'll teach you how to shoot the camera, you know what I'm saying? Just spread it back and forth, you know, and then we all don't know everything, but somebody knows something.
That's a wrap.
I got some of these lab coat cats in my yard, yo. I linked up with these cats, of course, through Stick. We shot the videos. The videos is fucking bananas.
Life comes to an end and it's time to be scared. You gotta do it for yourself, get it on while you're here. It's clear. You gotta give back, no time to relax. You gotta get it for it's over, ain't nothing holding us back. The end's the beginning, prepare for the ending. From the start to the finish, you can end any minute. You feel me? We lead to the limit, the end's the beginning. You hit me? Fuck chillin', it can end any minute. You move quick, we running a race, can't stand in one place. Spot a Jake Dodger cases, all part of my day. All things come and go, the hard times I let them roll. So the good times will come, yo, that's how it goes. It's harder to win, we do what we can. Spread this gem to the world. The sun's hitting me hard. That's cause I'm shining bright, my future's great. This is your boy Omi right here. I'm a living legend, proud to be alive. Throw your rags in the air and get your freedom on. Black.
We're leaving Atlanta! We're off to North Carolina, Virginia, then New York. 3 months later!
ATLA.
Yeah.
You could love it or not, I still go to the top. I bust out of the pot.
While in Atlanta, James Wade and Malachi formed the hip-hop duo ATLA. They recorded a full-length album together, which included collaborations with both Vince and KP. Vince decided not to continue on the journey. KP, dreading the impending winter, jumped on a Greyhound bus to Florida.
Dollar signs on the mind, organize an enterprise, eyes on the finish line, timing is everything. Warriors energy roll with like-minded company, mind stuck on making green, feed the family, not just bloodline. Love mine and ride till it come time to die. Ain't slept in 6 minutes, I'm up all the time. Been near death more than a couple of times.
Turn around, the bus and the van base are here in Virginia on a beautiful farm. It took us like 12 hours yesterday, and it's Thanksgiving Day.
I cannot wait to put away some of that turkey, man. It's been cold. It's been good. We've been getting a lot done in Atlanta, making a lot of connections. And I'm about a quarter shaved right now.
And what happened? Why'd you stop?
The Clippers ran out of battery, like they usually do.
Everything I do, try to push the limit on.
He don't know how to go on a walk. That boy too lazy.
Watch him walk the bike back up here.
Yeah.
My ancestors were here and founded this country, and they all felt that the British Empire was not what we wanted to repeat. And they believed in a republic, as I do, rather than an empire. And we walked away from our anti-imperial founding tradition. We've substituted a very imperial foreign policy now, where we're out telling the world at gunpoint what to do.
So tell me about this wall.
Symbol of the empire. We bring stones back from all over the world to the world center. And the world center is the heart of the empire. These stones came from the island of Flores in Indonesia. And they were rounded by Neolithic man 5,000 years or more ago. It's all about being in search of one's DNA. Your true voice, your authentic voice, you know, is found along your DNA default line. That's where to find it. This is a celebration of ancestors. Material world, you're in the spirit world. It's one or the other. And the way to get to the spirit world is through the material world. Through the physical, through the stone and the mountains, the physical world.
We're at the home of Pierre Spray, Maple Shade Record. His recordings are supposed to be the closest thing that you can get to sitting in the room with the musician.
Great to see you.
This is the microphone that Pierre has invented.
It's an unusual kind of microphone. It's called a pressure zone microphone. And what it is, it's a very tiny capsule with a diaphragm like any other microphone, except much tinier. Instead of facing the music, it faces the panel. And the great advantage is that the microphone capsule is so tiny, it's extremely responsive. So you get kind of the lightest touch of the guitar. Both John and Rex have actually, through the course of the session, have been kind of adjusting their playing, and they're hearing that when they play a little quieter, they get much more nuances of the instruments, because they both have gorgeous instruments. I mean, real collector's item instruments.
How did you get into recording music? What were you doing before?
I was designing fighter airplanes. I was one of 3 guys that got the F-16 started. I basically headed up the technical side of the Air Force's design concept team for the A-10.
Otherwise known as?
The Warthog. And it was something that we did over the dead body of the Air Force. They really didn't want it. They wanted to fight their own war, go bomb the pea out of the enemy's hinterlands.
What do you think of the current war in Iraq?
Disgrace. Something that every American ought to be ashamed of. It has nothing to do with democracy, freedom, or anything else. It's a really sad, sad disgrace.
Is it hard, like, morally, to know that you're doing something you love, but at the same time it's being used for something that you're so against?
What we were doing was something I was very much for. I mean, I still believe that the nation ought to be defended. But what was happening was slowly the Pentagon was getting more and more corrupted, more and more in the control of the military-industrial complex. Because of that, I just decided I didn't want to be part of that anymore.
How did you go from designing fighter jets to recording music?
I had a lot of friends in the jazz community here. And so I used to go and they'd let me come in with my little battery tape recorder, cassette recorder. And I got more and more interested. Got ambitious to make it sound better. And, started improving the equipment, fiddling with it a little.
And now how many CDs do you have out with Maple Shade?
Now, about 105. Once upon a time, this was just beautiful silver and blue plastic case, that lovely Mac styling. But we ripped all that off because it hurts the sound. These are heavy brass feet to drain vibration out of every piece of equipment down into the maple. Every step improves the sound. The entire chain is powered by battery except for the tape recorder itself. As soon as you plug into the AC line, you're vulnerable to noise. The downside, of course, is the batteries only last a few hours, then I have to solder up a new battery pack.
In the 20th century, film and media was essentially devoted to creating this world of fantasy. I think that the 21st century in media is going to be about smashing those illusions and democratizing the entire process. Hi. Welcome to the palindrome. Ingerum imus nocte et consumimur igni, which is the same backwards. Around we went in the night and consumed fire.
What is Lost Film Festival?
Essentially, it's a traveling performance that incorporates short films. I travel all over the world with a video projector, a DVD player, and a laptop. And I show films and tell stories and essentially contextualize a lot of the new radical media that's coming out of these various movements right now. Essentially, the idea behind the Lost Film Festival is to create an inclusive space in which everybody feels empowered to make their own media. We started Lost Film Festival in 1999, and since then, I must have done close to 1,000 shows. I've been all over the United States, Europe, South America. People from other countries are shocked that I'm showing such radical stuff because they were under the impression that in the US, people would be assassinated for this type of thing. In the US, I screened onto the front of the Crypt, which is Skull and Bones Clubhouse on the Yale University campus. And I also showed films in the barrios in Venezuela and showed a lot of these films that essentially document that there is a very strong resistance to the type of government that we currently have in the United States, and that there is a very, very active culture of dissent.
I've been to some of your screenings. Sometimes there's only like 10 people in a room. You do it with the same passion as if there were 100 people in the room. What is your goal with those few people that you reach at a time?
I basically don't look at my audience as a commodity. I look at them as individuals.
We're gonna get to New York in about 10 minutes. After 17 states, nearly 4,000 miles, and 3.5 months of travel. It's one of the most exciting days of my life. It started out 9, there's 4 of us left. Can I pay for the van behind me, too? Oh, no coming?
Hey, Grandma's Cody, I'm in New York.
Oh, it's too cold to talk, man.
Where are we and what's happening?
We in Brooklyn, New York. We in cold New York. That's where we at. We in brick cold.
World, homie.
We in brick cold New York.
And what happened last night?
Yo, the power went out on the generator. We couldn't get it back up. Tower was asleep. It was late. It hurts to go outside. It hurts. This ain't California, baby.
So we've arrived after 3.5 months crossing this crazy country. You talk about revolution very explicitly in your work. Can you talk about what revolution means to you?
Our revolution is a part of our lifestyle. It's not one act. It's a struggle to be a human these days. It's a struggle to respect humanity. It's a struggle to value life.
If we don't raise warriors, you can't expect for any warriors to grow. If you don't put a revolutionary program, then how you expect to see Malcolm X? If you're so scared you can't even think about freedom, now how do you expect it to manifest? And that's how it happens to our youth. So we have to prepare them for the things that are not on the path of their normal life. To shake the frame and be like, I know it say goes 1 through 10, but no, sometimes there's another number that they didn't tell you about. So let's raise the children courageously. I said do, or do not do. Do, or do not do. Do, or do not do. These are the 5 elements, now it's up to you. Said do, or do not do.
My name is M1. Yo, this is Umi right here, POW right here. It's the scribe for POW. I'm an orator of the information that's going on in our society at this current moment. So we the new CNN and shit. From a young age, I was exposed to a lot of different elements, from African drumming to different types of martial arts to just different types of thinking, you know? And when you play music properly or play it in a certain manner, you can go, you know what I mean? You could go places. I think it's the same with all of us. It's like, it's a way to help me relieve a lot of stress from my chest, help make my life feel a little bit better. Music does that for the listeners, too. You know, we need autonomy of our lives. Let's do it collectively, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna never really be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be out here going to jail.
Anybody who stands up, all the warriors, they try to put behind bars. They try to make anything we do illegal. But they make a war on you if you're poor. If you're too poor, you go to jail.
And we all leaders, we all got responsibility. First and importantly is the responsibility you have to yourself. You really gotta be concerned about what you eat, what you put yourself in front of, what you consume, friendship. All of that trickles down into your family and into your character, your sense of just worth. So you have to be very aware of what you're bringing in to your conscious and what you're taking out. Hear that voice deep inside you to make the right decisions when you can. And you know, you'll be fine wherever you are, whenever you are. Look at this here, World War III about to appear. Look at this here, abracadabra, magical fear. Look at this here, you saw them Twin Towers disappear. Look at this here, hard to tell the hunter from the deer. And on the block there's no sleeping, around the clock creeping. Bullets leave bodies leaking and the eyes of mamas weeping. Borderlines of money seeking get broken every weekend. Value of the dollar cheaping for the USA weapons. It's like a virus global spreading and the aim is just to dead it, so they aiming where we heading. Yeah.
I remember Huey was running through Oaktown. J. Edgar Hoover came with the dope, now it's towed down. I remember Malcolm and Marcus, Huey and Fred. I feel their pain even though I wasn't there. I'm taking the steps they was taking to get free. I waded through the water with gas with Harriet T, smoking cigars, watching Che writing his diarrhea, marching with Martin saying it couldn't be me. When Richard Pryor cut on the lights and gave us our props. It's a tragic day, Marvin was stabbed by his pops. I remember saying what's going on and never stops. Back day when niggas never ran from the cops. When Ronald Reagan came through, the hood was flooded with rocks and niggas started rocking them Jews flooded with rocks. King Shaka Zulu left them crackers blood on the rocks. We poured out to our ancestors shot in the rocks. Before rock and roll met hip hop became popular. Before black music was under the white binocular. I remember Lil Bobby Hutton, the first member. The first 9/11 was really in December. 12/4, year 1969. Cause every day we got to put our life on the line. People Army style, all day. Take that with you.
And how do you personally hope to make a difference with your own art, your own music?
You know, ultimately, I would just like to communicate that I'm a human being. A human being in all senses of the word. You know, I am an example of humanity.
If you're going to be a historian, you know, it's like one crime after another through history, but you're always searching for what's exceptional, because the future is always made by those who are exceptional now. Those who are least important, you know, in the eyes of the ruling class, become those who are going to build our future.
Yeah.
So it's like a revolutionary concept, you know, where the least shall be the most.
Art's always in flux. It's always getting from point A to point B. It's really transitory, moving around a lot. You guys find yourselves on a bus. We find ourselves, we live out of backpacks. This is mobile production right here. With like the advent of digital technology, the barriers of entry to filmmaking, as it were, come down so much. Everyone has access to a camera of some sort right now. You can open up your cell phone and you have a camcorder there. So the barriers of entry to getting into this creative field and trying to convey your ideas visually to other people, I think, is still coming to fruition.
Did you find hope in America crossing it?
Yeah, I found some hope, but it's deep when you talk about America. I also found some garbage.
You know, I spent my childhood and I lost my father jerking and knee-jerking to what a man with power was doing to my family, to my society, and to my country. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life being that puppet. George Bush is not going to determine what my actions are. I'm not going to paint portraits of George Bush. I'm not going to put Buck Bush bumper stickers on my car.
The notion of a democracy does not depend on representatives and where they sit in their hall of deliberation, whether it's the left or the right. I think it's got to depend on finding notions of self-government.
Our imagination or creative thinking that gets expressed not only through the arts, but through other activities, is really what we as a species have developed most highly.
We all gotta get these HD cameras jumping off. We need to be in Africa with the bus. We need to be all over, Brazil, Mexico, Europe. The bus and buses just like this could get around the world and impact that shit just as big as the government and the TV and all the negative stuff that's hitting our people.
We can't wait around anymore for the wheel of history to turn. We are the wheel of history.
They say money is the root of all evil. The greed in some people to lie, cheat, steal, the appeal to be deceitful. Well, if I had some, I'd give it back to the people. I know famous last words are sometimes unbelievable, but we made it this far for free and still yearn for the day we make the world sway in unison. I said we came this far for the love of the burn, the heat of the passion, and the dreams that reoccur. My memory is a document, the rest is still a blur. I don't know much, but what I do know for sure is that there are no guarantees. You could not categorize me. As long as I got my dreams, there's only me. There's only me. There are no guarantees. You could not categorize me. As long as I got my dreams, there's only me. There's only me. I'm a man of little means, pockets torn at the seams. I work hard like a slave for the dreams of a king. Give thanks to every sunrise on our way to the top. Left blood, sweat, tears on every stage that we rock. Wear our heart on our sleeves, whether you feel us or not. Cause we play for the cheers with everything that we got. It's our reality show. It's like lights, camera, action. And stay tuned for the coming attractions. But sometimes it feels like getting slept on and passed up. Pissed on with bad luck. We pressed on and stand up through tough times and handcuffs. It's that tenacious band in the sun. Yeah, guess what? That's us. There are no guarantees.